I like cinnamon rolls.
I smell cinnamon rolls.
Nope, I
I
like
smell
You're
cinnamon
better
cinnamon.
than that.
rolls.
All right. I'm dying.
Yo, it's your boy Chicken Nick.
It's your boy, Chicken.
And Big
It's
Dick Josh
All
coming right
right.
back at you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of No Place Like Homaha. I'm your host, JD Wonder, alongside Nick Hendricks and Mikey Love. The season's over, and so that means that this podcast is over. So thanks for tuning in. All right.
Come back with like a little 2-minute show.
Yeah,
Just say
All
bye.
right. Yep. We're just done.
Your jokes are trash, bro.
I try. I think I tried too hard on that one. It's kind of forced.
Yeah, a little bit.
But anyways, today we got a lot of draft talk as the draft is up next. What is it? Next week?
It's on Sunday. Day one starts on the 17th.
Yep,
Get
we're
your
recording
facts
this
right, please.
July 11th, and the draft is on July 17th. So,
Indeed.
getting ahead of the curve. We got several different sources pulled up, just kind of bouncing around. And Nick, as we kind of pointed out, there are a lot of high schoolers going this year.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, if you actually take a look at the class, like there's the biggest kind of come out from last year was pitching staffs from everybody, and that was college. So a lot of guys like Jack Leiter got drafted last year. He was a big pickup. Kumar Rocker also got drafted, but he's back in the draft this year as he was playing in the Frontier League. But, I mean, it was very kind of more bullpen heavy from last year. And then this year, it's definitely a lot of position players. And especially like on the high school side of it, like we talked about, there is just kind of going down the line. There's number one overall pick so far projected on a lot of drafts is Drew Jones out of Westland High School. Just an outstanding outfielder, stands out about 6'3". Main position is center field. So he's been the talk of the draft. Very well-rounded five-tool guy. Definitely can hit for a little bit of power. He's very quick. So I think kind of looking at that, the Orioles have the number one overall pick as I'm looking at it now. So how it goes for the draft order, Orioles are 1, Diamondbacks are 2, Rangers are back at 3, Pirates are 4, Nationals are 5, Miami is 6, Cubs are 7, Twins are 8, Royals are 10, or Royals are 9, and then the Rockies rounded out that 10th spot with the last team being the Giants. So they've got pick number 30 there, and then it kind of goes all the way throughout. So I would assume that the Orioles are looking to kind of pick up a little bit more of the offensive thing as well, but they haven't been doing horrible this year. And that's the thing that I would like to touch on as well, too, is just kind of where teams are in the standings and what they would be looking for. Because, I mean, on the last podcast that I was on, too, actually filmed yesterday, we were talking about some baseball as well last week's episode, but let me pull this up here. So the Yankees, everybody knows, are going headstrong, 60 wins on the year already. They're pulling through right before the All-Star break. But if you look, Baltimore stands out at the bottom of the American League East with 43 wins and 44 losses. This is probably one of the best seasons they've had in a while. And they're still 18 and a half games back, where in everybody else's division, that would put them in the middle of the road, if not just on that 4th spot. And they would only be like 6 or 7 games back instead of being all the way back at 18 and a half. So I would think that they'd be looking to pick up a little bit more of a bullpen side. They do have Jorge Lopez in the back half as a closer, who is outstanding so far this year. But they should be looking to get offense. And I think Drew Jones will be that guy that can help them out a little bit and move through the farm system.
Mm-hmm. I think Orioles are definitely trying to build a nice young core. They have a good one with Adley Rutschman. But as far as over time, I feel like they need to get a lot more, especially those seeds planted at the lower levels, because I don't want them all pushed, extremely quick through the minors to try to get them to the majors quickly. Because it's working for Adley right now. He's doing decent as far as I've seen.
He still spent, 3 years down there?
Yeah.
Something like that, 3 or 4.
Yeah, he was in 2016 was his draft year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been there for about 3 or 4, yep. So, and I mean, that was one of those stories too, where he was tearing it up through the minors as well, and that's a hitter. And a hitter tearing it up through the minors, only getting there in 3 years, it's starting to become a little bit more likely, but it's still very unlikely. Because, I mean, Bregman did it with the Astros from LSU when he got drafted back in 2015, and he was a powerhouse there. Dansby Swanson now makes his first MLB All-Star appearance, as he was the number 1 overall pick back in 2015 from Vanderbilt as well. So, I mean, it takes a lot for a hitter to get through. Pitchers are a little bit more provident just because if you get that velocity and you get that control early, pitchers are kind of needed throughout the year all the time. Like I know big trade talk was Robinson Cano went to the Braves for a little bit of cash and some draft placements for the Padres.
Today?
So, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, interesting.
Nick, I'm gonna fact check you real quick.
Oh, God.
2016 was when Rutschman was drafted?
It was 17, wasn't it?
2019. So you
Good
were
Lord,
right
why the
about
hell?
the 3 years. So he did spend about 2 to 3 years in the minors.
See,
Altogether.
can't confirm. Nick does not have the factual information on this podcast.
Sorry, my
Thank
bad
you.
on that one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Not my
we got
bad.
him.
We gotta.
All right. But the first, from looking at, I think all of our predictions, the first college player that's really getting like looks. Let me confirm with my other one real quick. Okay, so it's either between Kevin Parada or Brooks Lee out of Cal Poly. So Kevin Parada from Georgia Tech. He was doing well. He's catcher. And then you had Brooks Lee.
He was a Golden Spikes finalist.
Mm-hmm.
So explain this to me. Why is Ivan Melendez not going to be the first college guy off?
That is a great question.
I think looking at years past that he's had, like this was his standout year. This was his year to do it. But again, I feel like it also could be like an underrated thing, just like a Mike Trout thing, where it's like, oh, they don't see him being able to hit at the.
Yeah, but
professional
Mike
level.
Trout was drafted out of high school.
Also, he's a redshirt junior. Ivan Melendez is. So he still had. He transferred from. I've got his page pulled up right now. So he was in high school. First team All-State third baseman from Colorado High School. Then he went to Odessa College for 2 years. He was a sophomore, or transferred over from his sophomore year. And then he was all Big 12 designated hitter as a redshirt sophomore back in 2021. And then this year, redshirt junior, just absolutely lit up the board. So I think Ivan Melendez elected to stay back. I have not seen anything on the Texas page of him going to the draft. So everything that I have seen keeps him still down, which I think for him is great, because you've had you had an all Big 12 designated hitter title your first year in the Big 12 at Texas, and then now you were a Golden Spikes award winner and one of the best players in college baseball all year long, and that proved it when he won it. But so I think that's good for Texas. They'll keep a little bit more of a core offense with him as well. So he was definitely one of the biggest talks, but as a redshirt junior, I see why he would stay down. Kevin Parada, on the other hand, as a catcher, man, he was outstanding this year. Another Golden Spikes finalist. There's 2 Golden Spikes finalists on the draft because Oregon State's pitcher, let me scroll back down here, Cooper Jerpy, he's on there. He's projected to go 20, the left-hander out of Oregon State. He had a fantastic year as well.
Drippy?
Yup.
Is he drippy?
He's drippy.
Of course.
Freaking filthy on the mound.
Going back to the Melendez thing, that does make a lot of sense, especially now with like NIL deals. He'll get a great deal being at Texas, continuing to stay there. And then not only that, but all the accolades that you mentioned. So he'll be able to earn more that way than he would trying to grind it out in the minors, trying to live off a signing bonus.
One of you guys want to tell me why do high school players go over college kids? Like, I get the whole age thing, skill stuff, but wouldn't it make more sense to like draft those college guys? Don't you think?
In my own opinion, I never understood it because I feel like a lot of the high schoolers coming out don't really know how to take care of their bodies. They don't really, haven't lived on their own most of the time. Granted, they still have some academies, so they're like used to playing at that capacity and all that kind of stuff. But it's a little bit different when you're 18-year-old. You can be fresh, the next day a little bit better versus a guy who's 22, 23, who's used to waking up being like, okay, this is what I need to do to take care of myself longevity-wise. Now, looking at it from more of an exercise like science standpoint, with this sport, it's very technical, so it's very skill-based. So a lot of these kids that are throwing like 95 to 97, that's going to be their ceiling. Not a lot of them will gain a few miles an hour, but it's not like they're going to make a 10-mile-an-hour jump. So most of them are at their ceiling for that. So
yeah, I would kind of agree on that, and like kind of also going with that as well. I talked about this with one of my coworkers today because I told him, I said high school is kind of leading the draft class this year, and it's
That's how it is
more.
every year.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like
At
this
least
year,
like
it's
the first
definitely
3
heavy.
rounds.
And I think a big reason of that too, and Josh kind of touched on it, but like longevity. So you would much rather have a guy get drafted out of high school, especially if they're a skill player already and you can develop them. Like granted, in college, you've seen what they can do, and if they have another year under their belt to stay wherever school they're at, then so be it. But you take a guy who, let's say for example, we'll throw Drew Jones in this mix, but also I want to find a pitcher here as I'm kind of looking through. Hold on here. So Brock Porter, he's at a Orchard Lake, St. Mary's, but he's a right-handed pitcher. He can throw 99. So you're looking at a guy who potentially, if he goes to a college and throws 99 for 3 straight years before getting drafted, there's a potential of him getting injured. Where you have still great pitching coaches, you can get it into the MLB and you could start working with him with your programs and actually help him be a little bit more beneficial, go see some better specialists than you might be able to in college. So I think, especially for pitchers, I think it keeps your longevity in tow. Now, as a hitter, that's a little bit different because, I mean, you're still kind of working through. You got a lot to kind of fine tune. So getting drafted out of high school and start kind of getting in that major league mentality seems a little bit more smarter. Did I say that wrong? A little bit more smarter, I guess. It seems a little smarter. But
I heard a little bit.
Guys where you take like Jace Young, who's been at Texas Tech for 4 years, I mean, he's been running it up. So,
but also the difference between that kind of thing too is saying that these kids, a lot of them to get to that elite level too, have spent hours and hours and hours on end playing the sport. So either they're going to get burnt out or they're going to get injured because they're going to be down the road and it's not going to be like, I'm not 16, 17, 18 years old anymore. I am 23, 24. I don't know how to wake up and take care of myself. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, the maturity level plays such a huge factor in the sport. And it's like those kids, especially at such young ages, are just getting up there and they're getting after it. And it's like, it's just like, sometimes I'm like, dude, just be a kid.
Well, and like, look at catchers, for example. So Adley Rutschman back in 2019 won the Johnny Bench Award, also known as now the Buster Posey Award, but won that, comes through, gets drafted, 3 years, he's back, he's now in the majors and he's catching for them. Tres Barrera is another guy. He was from Texas. He's now with the Nationals, but he was working up through the years. So like catchers have such a hard position to kind of work for and get towards that point of you have to still catch this many games in the minors. Do you get a break? Do you not get a break? Like how many pitchers do you actually know? So what games are you starting? What games are you having to come in and relieve later in the game? So how physically fit do your legs have to be? And granted, it's a lot. Like, I mean, you're sitting there, especially Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright. You know, every time Wainwright's coming out, Molina's going to be right there. So it's constantly being able to understand that and know. So catchers have a lot harder kind of road just on the physical aspect, but mentally as well, because you have to know where your pitchers are at, how you could read the field. Whoever's on the field is like your middle infield, who's better at covering a pick if you want to do a back pick, and the situation matters as well. So it's a lot. The draft is definitely one of those tough things in baseball because, like with football, it's a little bit more skill based. You can take a guy like DK Metcalf, and you already see how freaking great he is. Just an absolute unit of a man. Put him as a wide receiver, shoot him down the field. There you go. That's his skill. As a catcher or pitcher or anybody else on a baseball field, there's still some fine-tuned skills that you have to hone in to be able to be that next guy down the road, like Kyle Schwarber, who's still constantly hitting bombs. Yordan Alvarez, he's 22 years old, and he is now one of the best power bats in baseball. So,
yeah, I agree. But, I mean, like, just going back to, like, talking about like basketball or football, that's also size. There's a size component.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see in basketball kids go one and done because they're usually done growing, and guys that are drafted in the football are usually juniors or seniors. They're big dudes.
Mm-hmm.
They've been hitting other big guys too. For some of these like high school kids, they come from that, but they're facing like 85, which like it's not a bad velocity to face, but if you're playing around, your hometown area, unless you're like extremely competitive and playing against other guys that are going to get drafted,
Yeah.
again is a small pool because usually those kids play on like travel ball teams or whatever. But to then go from that to then guys who are grown men playing against you,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a big transition. I think it's even bigger than college because college, like, it felt weird for me to be like 18, 19 years old going in facing guys that are old. They're
Yeah.
fourth or fifth years, and it's like, wow, these guys are like have a kid, outside the dugout. It's crazy. But it's even crazier at the professional level, just the age range.
Yeah. And I think like a weird thing too is like, and I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but I've kind of seen it as it's gone along. Athletes and just the human size in general has honestly kind of shrunk a little bit more, in my opinion. So you're seeing a lot of shorter guys. Like I know last year their lineup on BV, they were like 5'6", like was like a lot of their guys, like 5'6", maybe shorter, 5'7", something like that. But like you still get those guys that are taller and are lankier. So like Peyton Graham, for example, he's just a tall, lanky shortstop, but he still moves very well. So if you can still get a guy that's maybe a 5-tool player, but definitely a 4-tool player, you got speed, you got contact, you can hit for exit velocity and all that. Now you're looking at a guy who's able to still play his position, stay lean, and be able to still contribute. And I think everybody is now looking for, okay, so how much velocity can I get out of you as a pitcher? How far are you able to hit the ball? But at the same time, it's just like take into consideration what makes you win. Like the Yankees have bought the best lineup in baseball.
Whoa.
He said, "Go, whoa."
I said it. But no, the Yankees are
mad
able
because the Chicago Cubs are a minor league affiliation at this
royally suck peen.
The Cubs had the third highest payroll in baseball at one point, and they still couldn't pay Chris Bryant. Yeah. So, but no, the Yankees have developed a team that works around each other really, really well. They are able to hit for average. They're able to. Their bullpen is outstanding this year. Power numbers are off the charts with Aaron Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, who's coming on as well. So now,
how's that feel?
It sucks. I hate it. But it's trying to be able to build a team that can compete with that. And it's not the money ball aspect anymore, I think. It should honestly be more of the idea of just – it might be the money ball aspect, but building a team that is specific to how your organization wants to play.
I got you.
Put some respect on the Yankee name.
Sorry, dude.
No, you're not.
He is not sorry.
No, I'm not really sorry at all.
Okay, wheeling back around, I just kind of wanted to pick up from this one that I'm looking at, just the guys that we kind of talked about, I like even the beginning of the season or throughout the season that we were like, these guys are ones to look for. So Jacob Berry is one that we talked about for LSU. Good frame, great swing. He did well this season on that team. He's projected to go top 10 in a lot of drafts. Jace Young, who we talked about a little bit, he's projected to go in the first round, maybe a little bit later. He was another one to look out for, even though he didn't have the best playoffs. He did not have a good playoff showing.
Texas Tech fell short a little bit.
The Big 12 tournament or the CWS tournament. Daniel Suzak from Arizona, their catcher, was one to look at, and he's also looking to go first round.
Drew Gilbert from Tennessee, as well as his teammate Jordan Beck, two big power bats, speedy guys as well. Very, very big speedsters on the path there for Tennessee. So you'll get a lot of flair.
Someone flipped an outfielder off, though.
That was Drew Gilbert. So you get a lot of flair
in the majors. You do that, there's going to be fighting.
You will be fine.
Fight. No, somebody will throw at him 100%, and then they'll be like, bench is clearing right now. Like,
Yeah.
a little bit different.
If you have the audacity to do that in the majors, you are honestly probably really
you're
stupid.
on one. You are on one. You're against a. I mean, like I could probably see it maybe at like the AA level, or like single A, like high single A, something like that happening. But like guys that are like on the brink of making it to the majors, like AAA or like in the majors, it'd be like,
It's tough.
Yeah. Chase DeLauder was another one from James Madison.
Yeah, he's big. Zach Neto from Campbell as well, the Fighting Camels. Gavin Cross from Virginia Tech, he had a phenomenal year. Got the Hokies to host a regional. And then another big name on there was Brooks Lee from Cal Poly. The Mustangs absolutely had a phenomenal year. He did as well. He hit 357 on the year, 84 hits in total, 55 RBIs. So Big Sky Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got a lot of good names coming out there. I mean, another one that we didn't talk about earlier in the season, but he had a great season as well, was Gavin Cross for Virginia Tech. Helped Virginia Tech get on that kind of run in the postseason.
He's a big middle of the order bat.
Mm-hmm. Brock Jones from Stanford. He's looking to go early. Yeah,
he was huge in the regional for them.
This one has Peyton Graham going in the second round that I'm looking at.
That's a good spot for him.
I was like, he's a great fielder, but he'll probably go 2 through 5 rounds.
Yeah, I would say put him high
fill
2.
out a little bit more.
He's definitely got the fielding ability to play in the top because he only made, I think it was 5 errors on the year. This year.
He's
a
great fielder, and he had like 20 bombs in the season, so he did not have a bad bat either. But it's just like he just kind of needs to build in that frame a little bit more.
Jacob Middleton's another big name from Oregon State that's on this list. I'm trying to go through is
I'm seeing a lot of high schoolers, especially in the later rounds as well. There's a lot of high schoolers.
Peyton Pilate from Arkansas, big right-handed arm. What? Yes, Pilates. He'll go through. Brock Jones, we already said. We got an Iowa guy here. Adam Messer.
Wait, who?
Adam Messer.
Passed.
Oh, sorry.
Iowa sucks, my boy.
Yeah. Well, it was relevant.
It was relevant.
Well, I don't remember asking about Iowa, but okay.
Got him.
We're going through drafts here. My computer's being
I'm looking at all this. At the moment. It's literally
he'll get taken in one of the 700 rounds. Doesn't mean we care.
Okay,
Carson
so I did find him.
Palmquist, he's another name that kind of sticks out.
Ivan Melendez is projected to go 88th.
Well, yeah, all the good players are usually projected as whether or not they actually go.
Right.
I know, but he is projected to be in the draft class.
Okay, I just found one. Round 4 for Ivan Melendez, 112th pick.
There you go.
So, I mean, I feel like he'll come back another year and go first round.
I would say we got.
You also run the risk. I mean, granted, he is still a high-level player, and to get drafted this early, you run the risk of going back and either do really well and get higher, or you go back and then you drop to like 7th or 8th round.
Yeah.
Or you UCL it and you're gone.
You UCL it.
Well, he's not a pitcher, so
Ben
good for that.
Joyce is projected to go 122nd. I'm just scrolling through.
Is that because he throws that fast or what?
Here's a real question. Who sits down and goes, I'm going to go through all of these picks and choose them? Because I guarantee you, even some of these like teams, I guarantee you they're like going to get late and they're gonna be like, I have no idea who to pick at this point.
I'll tell you who. It's called ESPN.
No, this one's Odds Checker.
I've got Prospect Line here.
Well, I'm telling you. I guess it is their job.
Yeah, if you're a baseball analyst and a scout, you got to go through.
This one is kind of funny because it has Alan Roden from Creighton going to play for the Blue Jays.
I have seen that.
Blue Jay to Blue Jay.
Blue Jay to Blue Jay.
Love that.
Seen TJ McCants, his name is on here. He's projected to go 144 from Ole Miss.
His name was what? Where's your boy Tim Milko going?
I have not seen Elko's name here.
I think he'll go late with what's his Sonny
That one guy?
Sonny D, the big first baseman from Auburn.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll go around the same time because I don't know if there's there's not a lot of question around his knee. He looked like he moved well this entire season, but it's also the fact that he has had knee surgery.
Yeah,
and he's old technically in the eyes of
He's old.
I mean, technically, let's look at it real quick. Like he's what is it, a fifth year?
Yeah, he was a fifth-year senior.
So
hold on, pulling it up.
In the draft class, like in the kids that are getting drafted, he's on the older end. He's probably, 23, 24. You know, to get picked up at that age, plus you got to think about, I'm going to spend at least like 3 years in the minors, 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even more than that in some cases, because it's not like if your organization has a lot of guys. So, you know what I'm saying, Mike? Like it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough.
No, I really
know
don't.
what I'm saying, man?
Right? No.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
I think Tim Elko could definitely go probably second round middle because he's definitely a guy that's able to play. He's shown his power off quite well. He's a very good hitter for average. All 4 seasons he hit for average or 5, I should say, with Ole Miss. So, I mean, that's a big thing there on a couple of tools. Defensively, he's well-rounded. Had a couple of errors in the CWS on a couple of bad throws, which was not fully his fault. So, I mean, and everybody's going to have those in general. I definitely think he could be a mid-second round, if not early third, just to kind of keep him on that back burner because that knee is kind of a caution error.
What are you talking about, bro? It's almost been a year. He's
still have had surgery on it.
Yeah.
I had surgery on mine. You don't see me bitching and moaning.
Because you play in the Premier League now, the Midwest.
Factual statement.
I was going to say, though, you are
best trainers, my guy.
Hey,
I was going to say, in high school, we should have wrapped you in bubble wrap, but
he did. The other day, pitched lights out. 2 innings.
Mikey's on the mound?
He almost legit. He almost had a 3-pitch inning, and the third guy took that first pitch. He goes, "You bastard!"
Bro, I pitched 2 innings, got 9 outs.
Pitched 2 innings, got 9 outs.
That is true.
I did.
It did happen.
Can somebody explain this math to me? You pitched 2 innings and got 9 outs. What am I missing here?
Few errors.
Okay.
But yeah, he did K up some. He literally goes when he gets on the mound though. Bro. Yeah, when he gets on the mound though, he goes, "Oh, I don't think I have any Ks in this arm." First guy faces K.
First bat.
I was like, "Bro,
sliced, denied."
But yeah, looking back at it though, I think before we went on a little tangent, Tim Elko, I think is probably 5th round. Same with Sonny DeShera. Yeah, DeShera. Yep, there it is.
He'll get drafted.
It was something Italian.
Watch him not be Italian. Watch him be like Greek or something, and have just come.
I guarantee he's 100%.
I would say it would probably be French.
French?
DeShera? I don't know.
Are you dumb or stupid?
I don't know. Piss off.
I'm gonna look it up right now and see if they'll give me an answer.
I was going to say Peyton Chardonnay should be on a list as well as a prospect from Ole Miss. He was very good second baseman. Reggie Crawford, pitcher for Connecticut, is on here too. Throws upper 97. He was a big pitcher for UConn's run. He's 6'4", 230 as a lefty. Holy crap.
That's it?
I guess so.
I could take him.
Stop playing ads.
Oh, we're sponsored?
Nope.
No, just.
I'm hearing we're sponsored.
I did think it was funny though that the guys from Cronio Media sent the Flintstone Gummies thing in the chat. That was hilarious.
It says Sonny DeShera's ethnicity is not known. He holds American nationality. What? Thought
Break the barriers. Thought you were American.
Yeah, that's what he is. There you go.
There you go.
The more you know. Yeah. All right. Do we want to take a break real quick and then
back into some other stuff? I'm down.
For sure. All right, we're going to take a brief intermission, and then we're going to get right back at it. This episode is brought to you by Flintstone Gummies.
Oh, I turned the camera off.
Flintstone Gummies.
Flintstones.
Just make sure you take some, and you will be safe from any and all illnesses. You can even step on a rusty nail, and you will not get tetanus.
Wow, that's
confirmed.
That's a bold move.
Shout out Flintstone Gummies.
You need to take Flintstone Gummies 10 years ago. New Flintstone Gummies don't cover that.
Oh, dang.
Read the goddamn directions, bro.
My fault.
Flintstone Gummies.
My fault.
Josh is in the Big Peg.
No. That is
false. That's how we start the second half.
You need to not share that. That is not true.
Sorry, my bad.
Unbelievable.
I think it definitely is.
Nope.
God came to me in a dream and was like, this needs to be aired into the world.
No. Airing false information. I didn't know you turned it to Nick and you're just handing out false information everywhere.
Oof.
No.
Oof.
So here's the deal.
I don't want to hear any more about this deal.
Absolutely go with the sauce, okay?
Busting down sexual style?
No, absolutely not.
Quirked up white boy?
I'm a man of God.
So
what happened is,
says the ginger.
my good Lord, hey,
he said RDR.
So the good Lord came to me in a dream, right? He was like, "What's up, my brother? This is God coming to you live from the heavens."
Is Snoop Dogg God?
No, that's
Yo, it's the D-O double G.
My guy. This dude said, "Hey yo, it's your boy G-O-D."
G-O double D.
No, that's wrong.
And it wasn't Morgan Freeman.
No, it wasn't Morgan.
No, he goes, "Let the world know Josh likes to be pegged."
No, that's not
accurate.
Like,
say less, my man. I got you. I was like, what
say
else
less,
you need? Have me tell the people. He was like,
wrong.
Let them know. The new Flintstone Gummies, not as good with the sauce as the old ones.
That's facts.
Say less, my boy.
But the other part
say
is
less,
wrong.
My boy, I got you. No. G-O-D, capital G-O-D, he be telling me the facts.
Capital G-O-D.
That's what this is, my guy. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. G-O-D said, peace out. Go down to the fiery pits of hell and kidnap some people. So here we are.
Well, that escalated very quickly.
Just happened in the end.
Anyways, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, we're looking at some transfer portal stuff. I know that just looking over at softball real quick, Oklahoma is already lined up to have another title. They got a big slugger from Arizona State, and I saw that they picked up another really good pitcher. So I just – because I already saw a
really good freshman pitcher?
Yeah, Jordan Ball.
Sure.
Jordan Ball.
The Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year. Shout out Jordan Ball.
Yeah, didn't you spell her name wrong?
I spelled it wrong in the chat. That is my fault.
My fault.
Oh, God. Josh is lagging. This will be.
Am I lagging? Are you good?
You were a little bit.
Man,
I think we're good now.
Okay.
I think we're good. I'll figure it out when it comes
Anyways,
down to it.
Trying to get her on the pod a little bit.
Well, it doesn't help you spell her name wrong.
All right. Well, I fixed it now, and if she comes on, she can correct me as well. So
she'll come with receipts and just come for your neck.
Probably. I'm hoping. We actually have another interview lined up, happening sometime soon. Again with Cranio Media. Shout out Cranio Media.
And in order to make this the most professional as possible, I will not be in this call. So
it would be so much fun. But just talking about coming with receipts. We're hoping to have old Mrs. Third Baseman on.
Third baseman.
Pull up his name real quick. This is
attaboy. Way to have that
I wouldn't want to get it wrong.
As they say, G Wood.
Yes, yeah.
We're having Garrett Wood on.
Garrett Wood, there it is. He come with receipts, then we're all in big trouble.
Not
I was told he was not coming fired up because I told him, I said, bring it on.
Well,
let's have this guy come ready and heat it up, and he goes, dude, he's not going to be heated up. He has not been that way. And I was like, damn it.
Bro, he's not
fired.
He's not going to care because you had 2 wrong picks to begin with in the college race.
Yeah, you suck.
You were terrible.
Shut up.
Get wrecked.
He might not come fired up, but I am. Freaking chose Texas and Stanford.
Dude, you
They
two
were
can be
good
involved
picks.
in it.
2 and Q
Yeah.
on both.
Were they?
They
That
were
takes like
supposed to
actual
be
talent to
good
choose the
picks.
2 teams, the
Yeah.
2 first teams out.
And you're not supposed to suck, but you do. So
Got him.
we're here.
Hey, at least
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Oh man. All right. Well,
Yeah, no
anyways.
comebacks. Yeah, keep your lips sealed.
Just moving on through. I guess we got just that interview coming up. So that'll be fun.
yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know of any other big transfers though that were like a big announcement, any bigger than the Tommy White one that was early on.
Not that I've seen. Anyways,
To
just kind
LSU.
of. It's more so focused on the draft. And I think transfers will slow down kind of once the draft gets started, and then afterwards there might be some talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like some kids will be thinking about it around the corner, and then maybe some kids get drafted and go that they thought didn't, and so then like, oh, there's an opportunity here, and so we'll see some kids kind of move around.
It should be fun to see how that also affects the transfer portal as well, because I know a lot of SEC teams are getting big transfers, besides just LSU in general. So that'll be huge. Big 12 might see a little bit of movement, and I think too, like the big factor is once everything comes through, because now UCLA and USC decided to drop a bomb saying they're going to come to the Big 10. So that will, and that's coming in 2024.
That'll make
that'll
no
have,
sense.
Yeah, that'll have big repercussions. The funny joke would be is that they would want to be extra and be real California people, want to play in the Big 10 East and travel all the way to the coast, which would be really dumb of them, but I could see it being extra. But they should be stuck in the Big 10 West. I believe it's 2023. Once that comes around, BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and then Central Florida, they all join the Big 12. And then 2025 is when Texas and Oklahoma make their jump over to the SEC. So that's that'll shake up a lot of things when it comes to transferring as well. What? Hello?
I don't know what he said.
I have no idea what Mike said.
Mike, hey, say it with your chest.
Oh, I do have a transfer. So Arkansas landed South Carolina pitcher Julian Bosnick.
Nice.
As time records, this was as of 2 days ago.
No, I said that the ACC might shake up a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what's the ACC looking like?
There's been reports that North Carolina, Virginia, and Florida State want to move to the SEC.
Why? We don't need more mediocre football in the SEC.
We're legitimately just going to have – then they would have included – they wouldn't have brought over Texas if that was the case.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But no, it's just – I feel like down the road it's just going to be – the SEC is going to be king of just
it's
everything.
It's going to be like 2 leagues.
The SEC,
So already,
everybody
already
else.
Off of Pac-12 just lost two powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
And – it's going to be like the Big 10 because the Big 12 is not good either.
Mm-hmm. Right.
No.
It's going to be like the Big 10 and then like friggin' the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll just be the Big 20 and then
well, there's already 18 teams
the
in
SEC.
the Big 10.
Yeah, there is 18 teams there.
It'll make no sense.
Which I didn't know that was the case. I didn't know there was 18 teams.
Mm-hmm. Well, because the Big 12 used to be 12 full teams. They dropped it, and then they were 10, and now they jumped back up to 12. Well, now they're going to be over that 12 mark until Texas and Oklahoma leaves. The Pac-12, I think, finally dropped back down to the Pac-12, where they were the Pac-12 they originally. But, I mean, still, a lot of conferences are going to shake up, and I feel like there's so many things at play here because it's at what point do all of these smaller conferences start getting weeded out and it almost just becomes a full regional thing? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, all the schools of like, the Pac-12, Mountain West, wherever part of the American Conference is on that, and, like, the Sun Belts and everything, they all centralize into –
all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, they centralize into regions. So like the Sun Belt, the SEC and the ACC, they're all one massive power conference. The Big 12, any other conference, the Big 10 probably. and then maybe throw in a couple of other conferences on that western half. They form like the Midwestern region. Then you go over to the Californias. You have the whole entire West with all those conferences, and then you just break them up into subdivisions. Would be probably the biggest guess is what I would have to say, but that would still even be almost a decade away.
Yeah, they're going to try to keep conferences as long as they can.
Yeah.
The thing is like, so with the talk of Virginia and North Carolina and them wanting to move, ESPN is looking to terminate their contract with the ACC.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this also,
and then so that happened, and then the Pac-12 is now looking to rush into a contract to lock schools in so that they can't leave.
Yeah. That'd be tough. I will air this question. At what point does Notre Dame decide to ball up and actually join a conference?
They've got it.
Never.
Well,
just gonna hold it for all eternity.
And here's the bad thing. They make so much more money out of being an independent conference because they can go play schools without a conference. But they wonder why, especially in the college football playoff, they don't get picked a lot. It's because you don't play a conference schedule, so you don't have a title under your belt to actually prove that up. They've been, quote-unquote, joining the ACC for the last couple of years, especially with baseball. The last 2 years they've done it with football, I think. So they need to have a full deal that says we are stuck in the ACC or even put them in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are your two closest conferences that they can join into, and that would be probably the most beneficial for them down the road. Yes, they make a lot of money. Their sports are decent, but at the same time, I'm tired of Notre Dame fans screaming and crying about, why aren't we in championships? Like, why aren't we doing this? It's, well, because one, at some points you're mediocre, but two, at the same time, join a conference. Find a way, do it. Look at you hosted a regional, or you went to the regional and you knocked off the number one team in the country in baseball, and you were playing an ACC schedule, and look at how much more beneficial it turned out for you.
Right. Yeah, this is exactly it.
So, sorry, Nick's tirade of the day.
It's all good. This is a safe space. Share what you want.
Apparently not if we talk about getting pegged.
Yeah, no, I feel targeted in most episodes. It's okay. I can wear that one. And then Mikey plays the victim sometimes, but it happens. It's okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Exactly. Get the get the clippers off your nose.
What are you talking about?
Your little nose pinchers.
Yeah. He's being Mikey at this point.
All right. Well,
what does that even mean, Kobe Bryant?
I was hoping you wouldn't be somebody else.
R.I.P.
Anyways,
my name is the Doctor.
Pour one out for Mikey. Pour one out for Pinky.
Oh, I heard pull out, and I was like, we don't do that?
No, pour one. Whoa.
Yikes. All right.
Hey,
that's a whole new can of worms nobody needs to go into.
Anyways, so
moving on.
Well, I think that's all we have to cover for today. Some things we probably didn't need to cover, but Mikey said them anyways. So, yeah.
Everything needs to be covered.
No, I think it's just baseball. Anyways, so moving on to bringing up our partner, Cronio Media. Shout out them. You can find us on all platforms. And so, sorry, I
was going to say, you're
my brain just
struggling
gave
over there.
out for like a few seconds, and I was like, am I alive right now?
I don't know.
Is happening? Yeah, okay. Jump right back into it. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us on our YouTube channel. Since you're already here, please like and subscribe to our channel. Again, this is No Place Like Homaha. If you've gone to No Place Like Homaha after dark, you've gone too far.
That's coming later.
Should be coming out soon. But again, this will be this episode for this week, and we'll probably release another episode in 2 weeks. Kind of spreading it out a little bit more.
If we're not on the hub, words are going to be said, fists are going to fly, and balls are going to be dropped from the sack. All right?
Well, I would hope if on the hub they are.
Get on it.
Hey, yo. Anyways, yes, we have been the No Place Like Homaha podcast. I'm JD Wonder, and you also have Ginger and a guy who
gave
reads
you
statistics.
permission to hard R? Yo, on the hub, look us up under the candy shop.
candy,
The candy
shop.
shop. No. I
Look
don't
up
even
the name
wanna-
Strawberry Shortcake. You'll find it on there.
No.
That too, baby. Yes, sir.
I don't even want to know what that comes up with.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. Again, tell your friends, tell your family. Probably don't tell children under the age of 15, 14 years old. Probably not for them.
Probably not.
Again, thank you for tuning in.